My name is Reza Azri bin Ramli. So I'm a senior lecturer dekat Fakulti Electronic and Computer Engineering. So I serve as a lecturer since 2008 in STEM. For that, I have experience as a biomedical engineer dekat HUKM, Hospital UKM. Dulu dipanggil HUKM. Currently dipanggil saya tak ingat, mungkin PPUKM, Pusat Perubatan UKM. Okay. Alright, so for my detail, you can go to my LinkedIn. Okay. Code that you can scan. Okay, so this is myself. Training dekat Norway, Kongsberg. So this is actually the Eugene 1000. It's a kind of the AUV, autonomous underwater vehicle. So I got about 1 month experience at Norway to looking for the installation of the UV ni. Okay. So for your information, Eugene ni dia ada a few several type lah. Dia ada 1000, dia ada 2000. Deepest is 6000. So 1000 meaning that it can depth into 1000 miles, okay, under sea. Right. Okay, so today I'm going to deliver the talk about the professional engineer. So the question is, why to be a professional engineer? Why we need to be a professional engineer? So one of the reason is about the prestige. Okay, so when you earn a PE, your status is something that can set you up for the success now and future. So as a licensed professional, PE often command greater respect from the public and the community that understand PE status the best. Those that hold a PE are highly respected. So that is one of the reason to become the professional engineer, because you are entitled to use the PE, professional engineer, ataupun IR in front of your name. People will know that you are a professional engineer, you have experience as an engineer. So normally people who obtain the PE, professional engineer, normally they have more than 5 years, because in regulation, in order you to sit the examination, you need to have minimum 3 years. 3 years working as an engineer. So meaning that if you possess of the professional engineer, so people will straightforward know that you have more than 5 years experience as. So that is something that can reflect to yourself lah. Okay. You have a lot of experience. Number 2 is about the career development. A PE license can serve as a deciding factor during the hiring process. When a company is choosing between two equally qualified applicants, where the only difference is one has a PE, so another candidate don't have a PE, so the hiring manager will choose you because you have a license. Not only does a license it enhance your standing, it also highlight your leadership potential and demonstrate a higher commitment to your profession. So this is one of the also reason, if you have the professional engineer status, so it will promote your career development. So you can either upgrade your status in the same company, or maybe you can apply to another company. So they will choose you based on your status as a professional engineer. All right, so another reason is about the higher salary lah. Okay, but there are what we call a quotation. A sincere workers can have two salaries. So meaning that the salaries is not only that we looking for, but if we can give a commitment, sincere to work as a employee, so we can have two salaries. One salary is physically as a in term of money. Another salary is a reward lah from the God lah. Do a good thing, so God will grant us salary jugalah. In Islam we call as a rezeki. And God will grant you a good things. So that is meaning that sincere workers can have two salaries. So this is just to give you a review. Okay, normally fresh graduate less than 3 years. So this is the rate of the salary that they should get lah. Okay. Engineer around 1,000 to 2,600, electrical. So we can see that oil and gas nowadays, data engineer also quite high demand lah. Okay. Alright, so senior engineer. Okay, so here is actually normally the professional engineer graduated, okay, become a senior engineer because more than 5 years, so you can upgrade your status to become a senior engineer. So in order to upgrade your status to become a senior engineer, so you need to be something that qualify, something that you can show to your management that you are entitled to that position. So professional engineer is one of the criteria that your management will look. And a professional engineer nowadays, for your information, there are two categories. One is a professional engineer alone. Another one is the professional engineer with a practicing certificate, PEPC. So it is starting, if I'm not mistaken, in the 16 August 2016. So the Board of Engineer, they come up with the regulation that they break professional engineer to another section, which is the PEPC, professional engineer with a practicing certificate. But in this webinar, I will explain only the first tier. Okay, professional engineer we call as a first tier. The second tier is the PEPC. So for manager, manager more than 10 years experience. So this is your range, your range of salary. And for those who are more than 15 years in the industry, so you can get a lot. So this is the situation lah currently in. But sometimes ada juga company yang offer less than that. Even 10 years experience, so masih lagi dapat small income salary. Mungkin dia masih dapat dalam 5,000 ke bawah macam tu kan. So ada juga industri yang. Alright. So another things, the reason that why to be a professional engineer in terms of the authority. Okay. For many engineer have a PE, professional engineer, is a requirement to advance and gain greater responsibility. Because only a licensed engineer, normally dekat consultant, okay, consultant. So the licensed engineer can sign, they can seal and submit a plan and drawing, oversee work in the private sector, or serve as a fully qualified expert witness. So many government agencies and academic institutions emphasize the importance of PE license. Okay, so for your information, dekat universiti ataupun dekat higher macam universiti lah, macam universiti sekarang ni pun based on EAC requirement. So EAC requirement, they want that 30% of the lecturer must possess of the professional engineer status. Tier 1 ataupun better is tier 2 lah. But tier 1 also accepted by EAC. So the total need to have in one faculty is about 30% from the total the overall lecturer dekat institution. So that is currently demand lah from EAC. Okay, so dekat consultant, okay, of course the licensed engineer only can endorse the drawing. Okay. So you can see here lah, this is example, the allocation of the project fees, pre-agreement, schematic design, 12.5%, and etc. etc. Okay, so this is the breakout of the percentage of the work in the consultant. So failure to give a right decision will cause accident. So this is a two example picture that one is Penang Second Bridge collapse in June 2013. Okay, so here of course involve many parties, either consultants, main contractor, the engineer, safety officers. So that's why we need a professional engineer yang betul-betul bertauliah, yang betul-betul qualified in order to give a good design decision one project. So another dekat Damansara, 300 ton beam in kota Damansara collapse, jatuh, fell down. Kalau tak salah yang ni case ni ada accident cause tu kematian juga kepada pengguna jalan lalu di bawah projek ni. Okay, so that is we need to be careful lah in our design, and then because as engineer we involve a lot of process from the beginning until finish. For example, we do the design and then monitoring, supervise kat site sampailah kita hand over kepada client. Alright, another reason is about a title. Okay, it's about a title. Without a PE license, you cannot officially call yourself a professional engineer. Additionally, if you ever decide to work for yourself as consultant, you need to do register as PE. So that is the difference between the first tier and second tier. The first tier engineer, dia punya chop seal tu hexagon shape. But for PEPC, professional engineer with a practicing certificate, so you will be granted using this circle seal as a consultant. So the field of your engineering field tu depend on what your degree punya qualify lah. Okay, kalau you civil, degree civil, so you will be qualified as a civil engineer lah. Okay, macam saya electronic saya electronic. And then next is flexibility and security. As a PE license can provide greater job security during industry downsizing or outsourcing. So nowadays to pandemic of COVID-19, banyak yang company close. So for those who have a PE, dia adalah orang kata kelebihan, advantages, because you are ada banyak experience, so maybe mudah sikit lah, untuk kamu apply for another position. So this also has a job security lah, job security for those who hold the PE. Alright, so another thing that you can work anywhere in this ASEAN ataupun in the world, because after you have the professional engineer, you can also apply the association of Southeast Asia nation as an Asian engineer. So this is a chartered professional engineer, Asian. So it composed of 10 members countries, for example Brunei, Indonesia, Philippines, Thailand, Cambodia, Singapore, and Vietnam. So as a Malaysian, we are more apa tu looking dekat Brunei dengan Singapore lah because of the currency, the currency of these two country, Brunei and Singapore, is more than Malaysia lah. Okay, so this is one of the reason, because the PE and fundamental of engineering exam along with the minimum registration requirement are standardized nationally. Professional can work in any state that they want. Okay, although a professional engineer must register with the state board of engineer. Okay, in this case, after you post the process of the professional engineer from board of BEM, then you can apply for the ASEAN Chartered professional engineer. So after you get that qualified as a ASEAN Chartered professional engineer, you can serve dekat this 10 member country. Alright, so that is the employee motivation. Okay, so that is one of the motivation. By gain the professional engineer, so you can upgrade your status in terms of the supervision. You can upgrade your status, then job security, in terms of the pay and benefit. So that is more or less it become a motivation to those who get the professional engineer. All right. So now we go to the main content of this webinar. All right. So as I mentioned just now, there are two tiers. Okay, two tiers. The first tier is a professional engineer. Okay, the second tier is a professional engineer with a practicing certificate. So the difference of the PE dengan PEPC is only PEPC can endorse in terms of the consultancy punya job. Okay, engineering consulting practice, called ECP. Okay, so for example, before I register dengan IEM, okay, as a graduate engineer. Okay. Kemudian saya go to the professional interview, okay, with IEM, and then I got the corporate member. Okay, they grant me corporate member after I pass the PI professional interview. Okay, so by having this corporate member status, then I can upgrade. I submit the form to BM, and then they will give me the as a PEPC. Okay, professional. But in case for you, ladies and gentlemen, you need to apply the first tier first. Okay, the first tier as a professional engineer. Then after that, you can upgrade to the PEPC. But to upgrade the PEPC, you need to sit for the competency examination, right? So as I mentioned before that, okay, sorry, I mentioned just now 16 August. Actually, the 1st August 2016. So the board approved. There are different between the PEPC dengan, sorry kejap PEPC dengan PE. Nanti saya call balik boleh? Saya tengah webinar. Okay. Sorry Okay. So 1st August 2016, they start to divide professional engineer and then for the PEPC. So even though the professional engineer cannot endorse in terms of the engineering consulting practice, but as an academician dekat university, the professional engineer is counted by EAC as a requirement. So dia belong to 30% tu lah yang requirement by the sorry, by the EAC by the EAC, that every program run dekat fakulti, so 30% from the lecturer must possess of the professional engineer. So the first year also comply with the requirement of the EAC. Okay. Alright, so far any question from the floor? Any question? You can interrupt me if you feel to ask anything. Boleh ini Cik Hafiz boleh dengar Cik Hafiz?
Boleh doktor?
Boleh Boleh clear
Okay.
Saya takut. Alright. Okay, anyone audience kalau nak tanya apa-apa you can interrupt me Right. Alright, so this is the three roads that you can Cik Hafiz nanti you boleh collect question, boleh tolong collect question kalau ada yang from the participant.
Okay doktor.
Okay, alright, thank you. So three roads to become a professional engineer. So there are three roads. The first road, second road, or the road three. The road one is via BM, through BM. So that called as a PAE, Professional Assessment Examination. Okay, so this organized by BM. Okay, the road two is organized by IEM or MySet. So you can see the logo of the BM. Okay, in your left your left side is BM punya logo. Okay, then at the middle tu MySet and also IEM. So I want to know from the audience, what do you understand between BM, MySet and IEM? Anyone to try? What the difference between BM, MySet and IEM? What? Boleh siapa-siapa? Okay. One to board, the board of engineer. Okay, as a board of engineer, actually the board of engineer is the superior lah. The superior, dia board lah, board. So board of engineer is responsible to any aspect of engineering practice in Malaysia, either practicing in industry ataupun in any occupational related to engineering, ataupun dalam academician dekat universiti, dekat college, as long as they ada engineering, so it is belong to authority of the BEM, Board of Engineer Malaysia. While the IEM and MySet both are NGO, but they also involved in engineering, conducting training, for example, and then upgrading the status from training engineer become the corporate member ataupun jadi sebagai professional engineer. So IEM, MySet, dia adalah di bawah BEM, so BEM is superior. Okay, so there are three road so road pertama adalah BEM. You can apply examination assessment through Board of Engineer. Road number two is either IEM ataupun MySet. Road number three is if you have any professional engineer that you obtain from overseas, for example as a chartered engineer from UK ataupun engineering Australia. Okay, so if you have the chartered engineer status ataupun something that professional engineer from overseas, you can convert to professional engineer, but you need to sit for the examination. And if I'm not mistaken, later on we will go through the procedure. If I'm not mistaken, you need to have at least 1 year experience working in Malaysia. For example, you have experience working dekat UK. You as an engineer UK, you belajar dekat UK, okay, you graduate dekat UK and then you apply as an engineer dekat UK and then you work about 15 years. Okay, lepas 15 years you nak balik Malaysia, then you want to register dengan BM, so at least 1 year you need to have experience working as engineer dekat Malaysia, then you can entitled to convert become the professional engineer. Slide okey boleh nampak slide?
Boleh.
Right. So this is the step that apa tu in the way to get the professional engineer. So this I get from the Shazlan Rahman 2020. So there are about 7 steps. The first step in terms of your qualification. So that is why very important you to register dengan Board of Engineer straight away after you graduate from your bachelor degree engineering. Okay, because nowadays there are another branch we call as the technologies. Okay, bachelor technologies engineering. But they this kind of a student actually they are not entitled to become engineer, but they will allow to be as a technologist TS. So dia ada satu lagi bawah BM juga dia ada MBOT. MBOT. So the MBOT tu for those who are technologists, so they can apply for TS. Okay. TS also can apply to upgrade, become the professional engineer, but they need to top up subject. For example, they get a master by top course. So they get a few subject which are related to engineering, and then after they finish the master by top course in engineering, so they can upgrade from TS to become engineer. Right? Okay, so after you graduate, you need to register dengan BEM as a graduate engineer. Sometimes student ataupun engineer dia confused. Dia kata I register with IEM. Of course, register with IEM also you will be granted as a graduate engineer. But the compulsory is to register dengan board BEM. So that is compulsory because at the end, if you want to apply for PE, so BEM will ask you to show the letter that you are titled as a graduate engineer from BEM. If you don't have that letter, then you need to extend you punya masa tu mungkin setahun 2 tahun untuk extra years after you register. And then the step 3 is minimum 3 years. Okay, minimum 3 years, and then experience 1 year in Malaysia. Okay, so 3 years working experience as engineer, whether you are experience as engineer dekat other country, UK ke, dekat Europe ke, dekat Japan ke, okay, but you need 1 year experience working in Malaysia. So that is the all procedure lah that you need to comply. Okay, step 4. Okay, step 4. So there are 3 routes that you can apply for professional engineer examination, either through BEM, the first route, the second route from through IEM ataupun MySet. Okay, another one is the overseas body. Okay, for example, I explained just now, you have started engineer from UK, and then you can apply. But for this, you need to sit the exam code of professional conduct. So this exam code of professional conduct actually is more toward the procedure ataupun ethic as a engineer. Exam of code of professional conduct. But for those who have 3 solid years working in Malaysia, so you can go straight away the professional interview. If you pass, you can apply for the step 5. Step 5 is apply to BM as the first year. Apply the professional engineer. And then also you can apply maybe 1 year after that you can apply for PEPC, but this need examination, competency examination. Alright, what happened if in step 4 you fail in the interview? What happened? You want to try? You can apa tu, type in the chat box also your answer. What happen if you suddenly you fail in the examination, professional engineer examination? So what the process next to apply the PE? Anyone? Okay.
Need
So
to repeat next year.
yes, next year no. You need to have 1 year. After 1 year, baru you boleh apply for another exam. Clear?
Okay.
Maknanya you kena ada gap duration 1 year. Selepas tahun tu baru boleh apply a new application for PE tu, examination.
Okay.
So that is the for those who are okay. So next, alright. So the first step is about the academic. Okay, generally to obtain the engineering degree, so you need to to fulfill 4 years dekat university. Okay, so because of engineering degree in Malaysia, we follow the Washington Accord. Okay, dekat Malaysia kita follow Washington Accord. And what happen if you have less than 4 years and not in Washington Accord? So you need to top up degree qualification with a master degree, ataupun you can apply by contact BEM. So BEM also offer certain paper related to your engineering field. Alright, step 2, graduate registration with BEM. Need to have the status graduate registration dengan BEM. Okay. After that, you need 3 years experience from the graduate registration before you are entitled to sit for the professional interview dekat the first year. Then engineering training. Okay, so the engineering training is varies. It varies according to your engineering field. For example, what they want you to show the evidence is in terms of the design and also the site experience. Okay, so for this it is different according to different type of field. For example, untuk civil, you need 12 months in design experience and also 12 months as a site experience. So this period you can accumulate. For example, you have a small project. So this project about 6 months, and then this project 3 months, and then you have another project. So the total is 12 months. Okay, experience in the design. Good design. For example, you involve in all the calculation. For example, for civil, you show the evidence that you for example, you want to calculate the beam, okay, the beam. Then what else? The fundamental. I don't know lah, the civil punya ni kan. But it is involved the calculation lah, related to calculation, how to design, and then you come out with a drawing, technical drawing. Then minimum site of experience. So you become the site engineer, 12 months. So you look all the process from the beginning, apa tu, tolak tanah, and then ratakan tanah, and then put the fundamental, then raise the brick and everything until finish the buildings. So you need 12 months for that. For mechanical design is about 6 months. For example, mechanical dia involve untuk buat apa design macam aircon punya drawing requirement. Then site experience 12 months. Electrical for design 12 months, site 6 months, electronic 6 months for design, site for 12 months. Others tengok apa bidang apa. Dia kita ada macam-macam lagi, ada chemical engineering.
Doctor.
Yeah.
Can I ask about electronic? How about electronic? the design experience, the example for design experience and site experience.
Okay, for example myself dulu
Hmm.
saya sebagai biomedical engineer, saya biomedical engineer dekat hospital HUKM. So kita kena be careful lah sebab apa tu dekat apa tu contoh macam saya dekat hospital tu dia ada electrical and also electronic part. Okay, electrical for example saya juga involve dalam buat schematic drawing atau buat single line drawing untuk apa wiring. So that cannot be count because that is electrical. What you need to show is for example waktu tu saya ada buat security system. Okay, security system, so that is involve electronic. Kemudian saya buat CCTV, saya buat video conferencing. Kemudian kita ada apa tu studio room. Okay, studio room tu semua equipment untuk recording everything, yang itu pun terbabit dalam elektronik. So maknanya kita kena, we need to show evidence, not mistaken showing other kind of field. For example, you are electronic, you are given as a graduate engineer in the title of electronic dalam bracket, but suddenly you work as electrical. You do the for example you work as a TNB, you involve in transmission, itu dia tak boleh terima because you cross the field. Because you are given electronic, you're not entitled to do the electrical. Electrical can. The electrical apa tu qualified can. Because electrical is dia more greater than electronic. Okay. So kalau electrical dia nak buat electronic, okay, tak ada masalah. Tapi electronic dia hanya allow to do the electronic design, not involve electrical design. Okay, for example kalau kita dalam automation, so kita kena focus more toward SCADA system ke atau PLC ke, that is our part lah, electronic. Is it clear?
Okay, thank you.
Alright. And any question for go to another slide? Ada lagi? Tak ada. Alright. Okay, so the step 4 is the professional exam. So you need to apa tu before you go to the peperiksaan penilaian profesional ataupun professional engineer assessment, you need to have the checklist. Okay, for example tidak pernah menduduki peperiksaan penilaian profesional lembaga jurutera Malaysia, ya atau tidak? Sekiranya ya, so you need to prove that you have the gap of 1 year tu. Okay, so pernah gagal peperiksaan, telah memohon menduduki temuduga, sama ada through IEM ataupun MySET. Sama juga, if you go to the road 2, you fail dekat road 2 dekat IEM, kalau you nak apply for the professional assessment dengan BM also dia nak 1 year tu, gap tu. Okay, vice versa lah, ada dekat you fail dekat BM ataupun you fail dekat IEM, so you need 1 year experience gap before you can allow to apply the new apa tu candidate as the PAE. Right. And then step 5, tier 1, you go to the examination PE, and upon a successful tier 1 professional qualification, you are entitled to get the IR ataupun PEng, professional engineer. Okay, as a PE, so you need to maintain 25 hours CPD, apa tu continuous professional development kalau tak salah, every year. Okay, you need to comply ataupun you need to fulfill 25 hours CPD. So it is related to any activities of engineering, related to engineering. For example, you go to the conference, you go to the seminar, you do a training, maybe your company send you to training related to your work. Okay, so that can be counted as a CPD. Okay. Maybe you writing, you do the writing, engineering writing, journal ataupun technical report. Okay, so that is also counted as. And then step 6, professional exam tier 2. I'm not emphasize on that. Go discuss on the tier 1 professional engineer. Okay. All right. So for exam component, there are part A and part B. So the part A is a paper related to law and ethics as an engineer. Okay, kita ada for example engineering ethics, dan kita ada apa tu engineering management, okay, engineering management, dan kemudian kita ada safety, safety in engineering. Okay, so that is the part A. Part B is about the technical paper, okay, related to the field. For example, you are civil engineer, so the question will reflect to civil engineer. Kalau mechanical. Okay, so duration is about part A ni dia ada paper 1, paper 2, as well as part B dia ada paper 1 and paper 2. So one question tu you need to answer lebih kurang dalam 4 ke 5 muka surat macam tu. Satu question tu. Okay. So you have 40 objective question, 5 essay question, answer 3. So you are given 5 question, you need to answer 3. Similarly to the part B, part A and part B. Okay, so this is the difference between the tier 1 and tier 2. Kalau tier 1, so this is the shape of your professional engineer stamp. So this is for tier 1, which is the hexagon punya shape. For PEPC is a consultancy punya chop, okay, bulat. Sama macam chop yang lama, PE yang lama. Okay, so this is a professional engineer with practicing certificate, right? Okay, so this is example of your graduate engineer punya surat. Bila you after you finish your degree and then you register dengan board, okay, you register dengan board, kemudian board akan bagi surat ni. Board will go through to your certificate, your degree transcript, okay, degree transcript, and they from that transcript they will justify, they will decide whether you are belong to which field. For example, it is happen to either electrical and electronic, okay, electrical and electronic. So based on the transcript of the degree punya transcript tu, so board akan review. So if the student ataupun the candidate tu during degree dia ambil more kepada electronic, so they will give electronic. Kalau you tengok tu dekat sini dia akan ada tulis tu cawangan kejuruteraan ataupun engineering field tu, in this example chemical. Kalau you electronic akan tulis electronic, electrical, civil, right? So this letter is very important because this letter will be shown to the court as evidence that you are registered to have 3 years experience with registered dengan board as graduate engineer. Okay, so this is very important to qualify you to sit in any professional engineer examination. Without this letter, so you kena ni lah, kena penalty. Okay, kena penalty. Either you kena setahun ataupun 2 tahun. Selepas tu baru boleh apply for PE. Alright, so what will be assessed in professional engineer? So in terms of the competency. So the competence meaning that you have the formal education. In this case, you have the degree from engineering from any university, okay, yang follow the Washington Accord, plus practical training and also experience. So that is meaning of competence. So meaning that according to regulation, after 3 years experience, practical training, and you have the formal education, then you can apply for professional interview. So this competent also carry out tasks with effective standard, achievement necessary level of knowledge, understanding and skill, and also the professional attitude. So this is blind. Dia mix, okay, mix together to become the competence as a competence engineer. So after you have this quality, okay, then you will be allowed to sit for the professional examination. So for format untuk PI, there ada part 1 and part 2. Okay, part 1 is documentary evidence. You need to submit some sort of report. Okay, report with evidence. Okay, they want you to write the report and also show the evidence. The evidence maybe you can attach dekat appendix. Okay, according to from this time to this, from this year to this year, I involved with this site management ke apa ke kan, as a site supervisor. So you need to show the evidence. What your evidence? Either pictures, letter of awards, any report, for example. So you need to show the evidence. The part 2 is the interview. Just now, interview is involve oral. The interviewer will ask you related to your experience. Okay, they will ask you as an engineer, can you briefly explain what do you do? Okay, so you need to explain. If you are oil and gas engineer, so you need to explain about more kepada oil and gas. You civil engineer, you talk ataupun brief about the civil engineer. Okay, after you go to the oral interview, then you need to write the writing to essay writing. Macam yang saya tunjuk tadi. Okay, so this is the important part 1 and part 2. Alright, so I don't want to go more on detail. This is the step that most of that we can involve. Applicant, action, candidate, documentation, review by the panel. Okay, so you go, if you pass, you go to the examination. If you pass, and then they will approve and then acknowledge to the council, and also acknowledge in the bulletin, published in the report. Okay. For example, I'm a corporate member. I am corporate member registration. Okay. All right. So this is two important form, which is the IMPI A100. This is a professional interview applicant form. Another one is IMPI A401, a training and experience report. Okay, so if the candidate fail, so they need to they can appeal. They can appeal by filling in the PI result form, IMPI C400. Okay, so the fee involved, processing fee 100 ringgit. For professional interview fee untuk graduate member 200 ringgit, non-graduate member 300 ringgit. So this is the form that important. After you finish, you success in the professional interview, so you can apply for the corporate member IMPI A300. This is a corporate member applicant form. Okay, by having this corporate member status, then you can apply to upgrade dekat BM as a professional engineer, PE. Alright, so this is ini saya tunjuk through IM lah. Okay, through IM, you go to the membership. Okay, dekat IM punya website, go to membership, and then dekat situ ada member. So click ke professional interview PI. So dekat situ all the form, all the documentation related to how to apply for the professional interview stated in this website. Okay. Okay, competency standard. There are 5 categories and 18 elements. Okay. So the categories is A, B, C, D, E. Okay. So I go fast because we sudah ni. So A, B, C, D, E. So A is about knowledge. B is about design and development. C is responsible management leadership. D communication, and E professional commitment. Okay. So A, category A is use a combination of general and specialist engineering knowledge. So the keyword here is knowledge. Okay, engineering knowledge. Okay, A1 is maintain and extend personal knowledge, understanding, technical skill in own and ally field of specialization. So you need to maintain your knowledge of engineering. Okay? Apa yang you get from university, all the theory apa semua tu you boleh apply, ataupun you have the proper training during dekat tempat kerja tu. So you boleh guna understanding ataupun knowledge tu in your ataupun technical skill tu dalam you punya pekerjaan. Okay. And then upgrade personal knowledge. Upgrade ni, for example, either you go to training, your company send you to specific training, technical training, ataupun you apply for master atau PhD, also kita kira sebagai upgrading personal knowledge. Then A3 is comprehend and apply knowledge, understanding of relevant engineering code, standard, specification, application, especially those appropriate to local context, requirement, and application. So this is about the knowledge related to engineering, part A. Part B is about the theoretical and practical method to analysis and solution of engineering problem. So as an engineer, so the quality of engineer is we face the problem and we solve the problem. So that is a quality of engineer. So as an engineer, first we need to identify the project. Okay, identify the project ataupun identify the problem. So for example, we in our production line, we have some sort of a problem related to product. So as a engineer, we need ataupun we able to identify. Kita ada ada knowledge untuk identify dekat mana masalah tu. And then conduct appropriate research and undertake design and development of engineering solution. Okay, maknanya kita use method ataupun research untuk solve, untuk design, develop engineering solution. Kita gunakan kita punya knowledge untuk solve, implement design solution and evaluate their effectiveness. Selepas kita develop engineering solution, kita kena ada analysis. Kita kena analyze, adakah kita punya something that we develop dia boleh solve the problem at all. So kalau dia solve problem, berapa persen? Kita kena tengok in term of accuracy, percentage of the solution tu either 90% ke ataupun 80% ke. Macam kita tengok macam vaksin sekarang ni kan. Vaksin, so macam Pfizer, dia accuracy dia berbeza dengan AstraZeneca. AstraZeneca is a different accuracy dengan Sinovac. So that is in term of engineering biochemical punya design. So dia punya statistik untuk kita analyze punya finding, how much kita solve the problem. Okay, so that is as an engineer kita kena ada benda tu. Right. So okay, category C is providing technical and commercial management. For example, untuk management kita ada Oracle, Primavera dengan Microsoft Project. Okay, so you as an engineer able to use. Then demonstrate effective interpersonal skill. Okay, so the communication skill of listening, non-verbal ataupun body contact, apa semua kita ada skill as an engineer untuk skill untuk presentation, skill untuk buat PowerPoint, etc. Alright, category E demonstrate a personal commitment to professional standard and recognizing obligation society. So kita involve dengan society. Right. So think Hafiz macam mana? Kita stop untuk soalan macam mana? Hafiz?
Okay, alright. Okay, thank you, Doctor. Okay, so kita akan stop dulu untuk apa? Okay, before we go to Q&A session, just want to short promotion promo, just for your knowledge. Okay, sorry. Okay. Okay, to all participants, just like to give a promo but our website MFB Pejabat Penolong Chancellor Jaringan Industri Masyarakat and also Pusat Collaboration Industry and Masyarakat. So in there you can look at our another KTP sessions at 28 September will be the topic is how to make your production lean by Professor Dr. Zuria Ibrahim. So anyone that free please join us at that time that date. Okay. Okay. So before we go to photo sessions, just maybe we can give another 5 minutes for Q&A for any members of law want to give any question to Doctor. Or Doctor, maybe there is one question from the Mr. Yu Sai Siang. I am from manufacturing engineering field. May I know I able to go for PE certification? And also from Mr. Daniel Punang, which is the route is the fastest to get PENs?
Satu-satu dulu. Yang tadi, yang first question yang tadi mula. Question yang mula tadi.
Question mula, I am from Mr. Yung Sai Siang. I am from manufacturing engineering field. May I know I able to go for PE certification?
Yes, of course. So, Mr. apa tadi? Mr.
Yung Sai Siang.
Yung. Mr. Yung. So, may I know what field actually you are? Adakah you daripada mechanical ataupun totally daripada manufacturing?
I'm from manufacturing. Graduate from UTM also.
Okay, manufacturing. So, boleh? Mana manufacturing. Sekarang dah kerja Mr. Yung? Dah kerja?
Yeah. Already work for 3 years.
Okay, can you just briefly describe your scope job?
I'm more to quality assurance. Currently, I'm in charge of the quality assurance department, and at the same time, I also involved in R&D for material.
Okay.
Yeah, when my company is a rubber product manufacturing company. Yeah.
Okay, of course you can use your experience in manufacturing process because there are okay, R&D. So R&D also you can show the evidence ataupun you comply the evidence tu. Maknanya projek yang you buat dalam R&D tu. Okay. Can you give example of R&D process that you involve?
Okay. Because my area is quite wide, but basically I will more focus on the product development. Mean the customer request new product, then we will do.
May I know what kind of product? Is it
for example, like now is our new product is we call it training band. It's a latex, rubber latex product.
Okay.
Okay. So then we actually do from zero. Then we do the how to process it, how to manufacture it, and until the end product.
Yeah. So meaning that you need to show, let's say, one project of your R&D. Okay. You want to produce a kind of product. So the whole process tu you kena masukkan di dalam your punya report lah, from beginning until finish the process tu, then the process tu boleh manufacture the product tu.
Maksud awak saya cuma perlu fokus kepada proses ke saya kena dari saya punya mesin?
Okay, alright. Yang itu dari segi design lah. Okay, R&D tu we said as a design. So dekat site tu maknanya you kena duduk dekat proses lah. You duduk kat proses, you tengok macam mana operator your technician tu produce the things. Okay, so maknanya you duduk dalam the proses tu, itu macam you punya site lah. Faham?
Okay.
So maknanya
Okay.
design tu dekat you punya R&D punya your R&D punya knowledge. Dekat R&D tu you do the design. Design maybe you have you use some sort of a simulation ke apa kan untuk produce a machine for example, ataupun the process flow. Okay, so that is in term of the design lah. Okay, kemudian bila site tu you kena duduk dekat production tu, kena tengok the whole process tu. Okay, yang macam table tadi kan, kalau if I'm not mistaken 12 years lah. 12 months ataupun 1 years dekat site. Dia kena duduk dekat site, kena tengok the whole process. Okay, so itu yang dimasukkan dalam table tadi tu. Civil engineering dia kena 12 months dekat design and also 12 months dekat site, right? Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Alright. Second question, Hafiz.
Another question from Mr. Miss Preshen Saravan, I think. How much is the fees for the tier 1 exam?
Yang tadi tu saya tunjuk tadi.
Okay,
I think about 400 lah total. 100 for process, 300 for PI punya ni. 400 lah almost. It's necessary to practice PE under IR. Necessary to practice PE.
so Doctor, you want to answer the question from Miss Vimala Devi?
Yeah, of course. You need to have the PE as your mentor dekat your industry lah. In the case if you don't have any PE, so you can contact either BEM ataupun IEM, ask for professional engineer nearby dekat kawasan tu. So the PE at least twice a year dia kena do a site visit dekat your location to see the process training that you conducted. Is it okay? Vimala Devi? Is it okay?
Okay, so I think that's all, Doctor. Okay,
Okay, right.
Okay, please, all member of the floor, please open your camera. We want to take the photo session. All right. Okay. Okay. Okay, please open all your camera. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you. So that's all, I think. I hope this session is a fruitful session, and please, we hope we can see you again for the next session. Okay, thank you, Doctor.
Alright.
Okay, all right, thank you for all the participants. Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.